uses them to cause damage. Before I read this message, Monty having claws didn't really strike me as an odd design detail. I mean, the dude's an alligator, kinda makes sense. But this message made me reevaluate that opinion. Claws are only for animatronics that play the bass. When we get the message about Bonnie being out of commission, we get this line, quote, "With Bonnie out of commission, we are making Monty the new bass player. Parts and service have already done the proper adjustments," end quote. They're installing the claws on Monty because he's becoming the bass player, which means that Bonnie before him must have also had claws. They need to be built into the endoskeleton because they have to pluck the heavier strings. Therefore, the claws on Afton's new body prove that they could have only come from a single source, Glamrock Bonnie. But Glamrock Bonnie isn't the only one conspicuously missing from the security breach lineup. Where is everyone's favorite yellow clickbait, Golden Freddy? At first, I didn't think too much about his absence. Last we saw old Yellow Fredbear, he was twitching away at the end of Ultimate Custom Night, keeping the spirit of Afton trapped in an endless purgatory of torment. Meanwhile, you got Old Man Consequences over here asking Cassidy, "You good, bro?" and encouraging them to leave the demon to his demons. So, yep, that story seemed largely done. Cassidy, aka the one you should not have killed, aka the vengeful spirit, call the kid whatever you want, this was another playing piece off the lore table, the end of another character arc. So why would Cassidy appear in Security Breach? Doesn't seem necessary. But then, it was more Freddy Spaghetti time. Security Breach once again threw everything it had at the wall to see what stuck. And I do mean everything they had. Basically everyone and everything in the series up to this point is represented somewhere in this game. FNAF 1 animatronics, FNAF 2 animatronics, tons of references to FNAF 4, a direct connection back to FNAF 6, there's Baby, there's the puppet, there's the fun times. If my theories up to this point have been correct too, you also get Crying Child, Michael, and Elizabeth, the Aftons all in one neat little package. And that's still not all. The arcade cabinets reference everything from the original novel trilogy to the Fazbear Fright stories. Heck, in this one game you get not only one, but two, count them, two versions of William Afton, Glitch Trap and Burn Trap. You have all the versions of pretty much all the important characters throughout the franchise. So in a title that seemingly references every other important corner of FNAF lore, where's our golden boy Freddy? Well, he's there. He's hiding in plain sight, right here, inside the Princess Quest arcade games. The princess is, quite literally, Golden Freddy. Or, to be entirely accurate, it's actually the spirit of Cassidy inside the arcade game. I know, it seems crazy, right? And while I could try to bury the lead here and string this whole thing out, I'm not. There's just too much to talk about. We know that this is Golden Freddy because it's coming straight out of the horse's mouth. I guess it's the sheep's mouth because it's Steel Wool Studios. Anyway, if you dive into the game files, there's a character sprite folder labeled Cassidy. Open it up and what do you find? The princess. Now, I gotta be honest, that alone didn't convince me. Sure, it is a huge deal, and obviously the golden color of the princess is a direct connection back to everyone's favorite yellow bear, but this is also a series that's used the name Jeremy in like, what, at least 4 separate places? Is that right? 4? He's a missing children's incident kid, he sliced his face off in FNAF VR with a paper cutter, he's a security guard from the FNAF 2 paychecks, and oh yeah, he's in the latest Fazbear Frights book. So yep, those are the 4 instances that I can just remember off the top of my head. So forgive me if I'm in need of a bit more proof here before I call this one confirmed. So I kept digging. First, it's worth noting that in a previous theory, I suspected that the princess was actually meant to be a stand-in for Vanessa. You see, Security Breach isn't the first time that we've actually seen the Princess Quest minigame. It originated as part of the mobile port for FNAF VR when they needed some way of telling Vanessa's story. Instead of finding 16 glitching cassette tapes like you did in the original FNAF VR, the mobile port has you playing Princess Quest 1, lighting 16 braziers to eventually find the lair of Glitch Trap. Interestingly though, digging through that game's files reveals that the princess character wasn't labeled as Cassidy. This is a new thing for Security Breach, which tells me that this was also an important story element for them. A story that, now that we have all 3 Princess Quest games to look at, suddenly takes on a different meaning. When you play Princess Quest 1, you're being hunted down by black glitchy rabbit creatures. These things are clearly working for Glitch Trap, but if that's the case, why would he be sending them to attack you? If the princess is truly meant to be a stand-in for Vanessa finding the tapes, wouldn't he want Vanessa to find them so she comes under his control? Rabbits attacking doesn't make sense. However, if we consider the Golden Princess to instead be Cassidy, back from the dead once more to try and stop William for good, then of course, Billy Afton would do everything he can to stop the princess. I also think that each princess quest represents a different phase of Cassidy's experience quite nicely. In the first one, Cassidy is helpless, an innocent, helpless child lured to a back room and killed by a monster that looms in the shadows. But by Princess Quest 3, the princess is fighting back. And not just fighting back, but doing it in the same location that we walked through in FNAF VR. Notice the large central stage, the prize corner back behind us, and a rounded side stage to the left. Now, this is an important detail because as we see at the end of FNAF VR, we're playing in the location of the missing children's incident. Glitch Trap lures us to the back room only to shove our dead body into Freddy's suit while he dances around. This is Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, where the initial 5 kids, including Cassidy, first went missing. Cassidy's story truly comes full circle. Playing through Princess Quest 3 the first time, I also thought it was unusual to have a giant Chica face looming in the background watching us. Like, why? Seriously, why? You don't just do that for decoration. And then I remembered this line from Ultimate Custom Night. I was the first. I have seen everything. This means that Susie, the spirit inside of Chica, saw the deaths of everyone else, meaning that she was probably watching as Cassidy was killed. Hence why she, of all the characters, would be the one watching us in this moment. So the file name matches, the color matches, the narrative arc makes sense as we revisit important locations from Cassidy's past, but that's not all. Elsewhere in the files, there's another piece of glitch text, similar to the text that we originally saw when you approach Glitch Trap in Princess Quest 1, but this time it's much shorter. It'd be hard to decipher if we hadn't just decoded Afton's text before, but we did. And using that code, we're able to translate these dots as "it's me," the iconic phrase that we've seen every time Golden Freddy has been present throughout the series. Last but not least, Cassidy being here just makes sense with the story. Whenever there's William, Cassidy is close behind, hence the whole vengeful part of Vengeful Spirit. This is something that we actually see in the Fazbear Frights books, specifically the story The Man in Room 1280. In this story, we get a ruined, burned William Afton dying on a bed, haunted by an angry spirit named Andrew with curly black hair wearing an alligator mask. This very clearly is meant to be the book stand-in for Cassidy. In a previous story, Andrew outright says, quote, "I do remember wanting to get back at someone who hurt me. I think I attached myself to him. I got into his soul, made sure he couldn't move on when he should have died. I remember I wanted him to suffer the way he made me suffer." Basically, the two are inseparable. Andrew grafted himself onto Afton, and now their souls are mixed. So consider this. Glitch Trap was created when a bunch of circuit boards were scanned into a system to create a video game.
They sent us that stuff in the first place with no explanation. It was just junk. Circuit boards and things like that. Somehow, though, there was usable code on some of it.
If Cassidy was truly attached to Afton, then Cassidy's spirit would also likely be in those circuit boards, thereby creating a digital version of her, aka the princess. So yeah, I feel pretty darn confident that that is indeed Cassidy in Princess Quest. Everything I could find backs it up from a design, timeline, narrative sense. Also, the file name suggests that the king is actually Old Man Consequences. Sure, I guess. Leave the demon to his demons. Unless, of course, you want to take my sword and go ham on him. Anyway, so what does it all mean? Why is this important at all? Well, it gives us a rationale for why playing some random arcade games somehow manages to free Vanessa from Glitch Trap's control. As a reminder, if you play all 3 Princess Quest games, you get the free Vanny ending, where she turns good and joins you eating symbolic ice cream cones. But really, it's a pretty weird logical leap that playing a few random arcade games somehow gets this young woman free of the virus that's infected her brain. But now, it makes a bit more sense. At the end of Princess Quest 3, we confront a large security door that's covered in purple goo, only to get a blood-curdling scream. That goo tells us that it's Glitch Trap behind the door. It even has a glowing set of eyes on the left-hand side, which, if you squint, kinda looks like a rabbit head. This kind of goo wasn't present in the identical door within Help Wanted, implying that he is now in control. So when Cassidy unlocks the door and goes in, the digital scream that we hear from the other side is Glitch Trap dying, crying out as Cassidy delivers the killing blow and maybe, hopefully, finally, putting both of their souls to rest. Security Breach to me has been the story about endings. Throughout all of my Security Breach theories thus far, we focused heavily on the idea of characters coming full circle, giving closure to them and ending their parts within the FNAF storyline. The crying child and the missing children got their closure back in FNAF 3's Happiest Day. Henry and the puppet got their closure in the FNAF 6 ending. If I'm right about my theories, then the rebuilt Afton kids get their closure on the hillside eating ice cream here in Security Breach. And now Cassidy. While all the other dead kids of the series have been able to move on, Cassidy has always remained, always trying to chase Afton down, torturing him in purgatory for what he's done, so driven by anger and revenge that she couldn't let go. So this feels like a great ending to this chapter of the series. Finally, Cassidy gets to join the others and rest, putting aside their agony and putting an end to the Golden Freddy arc, and hopefully to Afton's arc as well. But there's still one more that's incomplete. One more series of secrets in this game that we haven't talked about yet. Tune in next FNAF episode as we wrap up our coverage for Security Breach by talking about the most controversial and frustrating part of it, the retro CDs, the mysterious Patient 46, and what all of that has to do with the theories that we've covered so far. So bite of 87 that subscribe button to ensure that you don't miss it. And as always, remember, it's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. So remember, February 19th, Saturday, for our final Security Breach theory, and then make sure you stick around after the episode for a live theorist talkback, where me and a bunch of other FNAF theorists from around YouTube get together to discuss all things Security Breach. The good, the bad, the robotic, and we can't wait to hear your thoughts on it as well.
Perfect, 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 and perfect intense.
Perfect Valentine's Day activities. Go out for pizza.
I'm literally in a Papa John's right now.
Lift each other up.
Thank you to the patrons for supporting the channel. Welcome back. Today we're doing part 1 of a new series I'm going to be doing, basically going in-depth and analyzing every single aspect of the Five Nights at Freddy's games one at a time. From the gameplay to the fan base to the theories, everything surrounding the game basically I'm going in-depth on, including, for this episode, I have an interview with the first person to ever make a Five Nights at Freddy's Let's Play. So look forward to that. Now it's going to be a bit long-winded, so if you only are interested in one part of it or you want to pause and go back, the timestamps to all the different sections are in the description and they should be visible on the progress bar. Without further ado, let's get into it. I've talked at length before about exactly how Five Nights at Freddy's came about. Scott Cawthon released a game called Chipper & Sons Lumber Company, which was trashed basically for looking too creepy.
This video is brought to you by for petty reasons. It's just very toned down. Like, most of the on-screen moments where we explicitly see Regina be cruel to others for no reason or because of petty revenge are both absent in the show and also not replaced with anything similar. As a result, a lot of her meanness is, toned down from the film, and her vicious pettiness is thus not given as much of an opportunity to shine beyond Regina simply telling us through her introduction that she is mean and doesn't care about others. It works, but it's way less compelling. You could argue that this is because of the conversion from film to musical, as musicals tend to be more blunt and open about these things rather than subtextual. But it didn't have to be this simple. Look at the way the Heathers are introduced in Heathers the Musical. Beyond seeing them in the opening number, we see them interact with Veronica and convince her to join their rank and forge a letter for them in order to bully another girl, and we get Candy Store, a song that showcases their cruelty, pettiness, and forcefulness while also just being fun as hell. It's letting us see their personalities first and foremost without just going, here's Heather Chandler, everyone loves her, she's really mean. And Meet the Plastics' introductory number really could have taken a lot of cues from Candy Store. Like, it seems like that's the energy it's theoretically going for. But like the show as a whole, it lacks that edge and bite that makes something like that feel shocking and affecting, and in turn makes it stand out as a character piece. This also affects Katie's arc too, weirdly enough. Part of the whole thing is that she starts out as the sweet, innocent fish out of water and slowly becomes corrupted into being just another mean girl like the rest of them. We watch her in the film grow more and more vain, more and more deceitful, and more in love with the idea of getting petty revenge against Regina. You see Katie slowly become the mask, and how someone could even become this type of person to begin with. But in the musical, Katie is like, fine. Like, she does some cringy things to get with Aaron Samuels, and she does skip out on Janice's party, but for the most part, we never really see her become as catty and unlikable as she does in the movie. She's just sort of nothing, like, just not important, like, she just doesn't matter. The show ends up cutting a lot of Katie's slow decline into mean girlness. We see these scenes in the film where she's constantly talking to Janice and Damien about getting revenge on Regina, complaining about her with the same lines and jokes over and over again, refusing to hang out with them in favor of sabotaging the plastics, and even really dramatically changing the way she speaks and carries herself. None of that is present in the show, and we even have characters like Karen go out of their way to talk about how nice Katie is, even when she's at the point in her story where she should be a lot meaner by now.
I like Katie. She's nice to me.
Higher thing.
No, do you think I'm an idiot? No, it's just gonna be a few cool people and you better be one of them, biatch. No, do you think I'm an idiot?
Her role in the entire driving sabotage plot is significantly reduced. She ends up being a very bland, kind of nothing character who is neither particularly likable nor particularly hateable, even at moments that should be her high and low points. Oh, and then Janice gets affected by this too. Like, okay, Janice is both a popular and divisive character among fans of Mean Girls. People generally like her and enjoy her character, but there's also discourse over whether or not Janice in the film is justified in her actions or if she's just her own brand of mean girl. And there is validity to that interpretation. Janice sets out on a quest to take down Regina George out of feelings of petty revenge and manipulates Katie in order to do so. Much like Regina pretends to be Katie's friend and molds her into what she wants, Janice also initially pretends to be Katie's friend just to get her to do what she wants. She explicitly tells us in her scene that she knows she's mean, that this is part of who she is.
God, see, at least me and Regina George know we're mean. You try to act like you're so innocent.
Even if you don't particularly agree with this interpretation of the character, it does play into the overall theme of the film, that girls have to stop treating each other poorly and actually get along. Movie Janice is a lot snarkier. She makes a lot more blatant insults towards Regina and the people around her. She's more active in the plot. She shows more visible disdain toward others.
Nice wig, Janice. What's it made of?
Your mom's chest hair. She may seem like your typical selfish, backstabbing, slut-faced hoe bag. Regina George is not sweet. She's a scum-sucking road whore. She ruined my life. Because you are a mean girl. You're a bitch.
And then musical Janice is just sort of there. Like, she still has her grudge against Regina, and she still works with Katie to do it, but a lot of her worst tendencies are just removed or ignored entirely, and she gets to sing a song in the end about how you shouldn't worry about what other people think of you, which is just kind of like, what? Isn't her whole character based on being so angry over what Regina thinks of her that she is still willing to try to use Katie to get revenge on her and ruin her life? It's like they knew some people didn't like Janice, and so in an attempt to make her more likable, they just got rid of everything about her. She's not even goth anymore. Like, it's 2021. I won't stand for goth erasure. Also, like, one other thing that I've always found a little bit weird about both the film and the show, and this isn't a specific critique of either one individually, but it's just something that surprises me that never really gets talked about. Regina in the film is quite heavily implied to have an eating disorder, and the fact that it never really gets addressed in any detail, the scheme of Janice essentially trying to make this person who hates her body secretly gain weight, is kind of wild to me. Like, don't get me wrong, the things that Katie does that Janice encourages her to do are framed as in the wrong in the narrative, but it's kind of wild that that specific thing never really gets that narrative focus besides, like, lol, funny sabotage. This all comes with a caveat that there is one weirdly darker thing that they added into the musical that wasn't in the movie, and that's in the song Stop, in which a bunch of the students sing about things they regret doing in their life in an attempt to get Katie to stop trying to get with Aaron Samuels. And in this song, Karen sings about how when she was 13, she sent nude pictures to a boy she liked, and how the photos then got circulated and ended up on a website for underage nude photos. Which is a fucking buck wild thing to introduce out of nowhere and play off as a joke. Like, the characters all move on, and it's never addressed again, and it's like, what? Why was this put here? And, like, Karen does turn to the audience and talk about how they need to teach boys to not share nudes and that people should think before they post, but it's still just such a fucking whiplash moment. It's not even, like, funny. There's not even, like, a punchline or, like, a dark joke that they add to it. It's just sort of depressing. Side note that in general I have mixed feelings towards how they portrayed Karen in the show. Like, on one hand, she's the one plastic who retains the most of her original personality, and she has some of the better lines and jokes of the show. On the other hand, they really play up her dumbness and stupidity to the point of all of her songs having this very simple, childlike musical style and instrumentation. It all feels really infantilizing and demeaning and weirdly more judgmental of her than the movie was, and she's the main outlier of the cast since everyone else gets flattened and made way less interesting or risque. I'm not sure exactly why they toned things down the way they did, if it was a conscious attempt to remove any potentially upsetting content, or if they thought this was a better way to market it toward teens, or if this was just the way it turned out and they weren't consciously trying to do it. But it really is a shame, especially when Heathers showed that you can make a musical that has a bit of edge to it and still have it be massively successful with a teenage audience. The sandpapering of the material isn't the only thing affecting the character arcs, though, because in a lot of respects, the way the show is presented and framed and paced is responsible as well.
We bundled our insurance with NJM and saved.
We bundled with the alpaca.
So, turning a movie into a musical is always going to be a bit of a challenge. I talked about this a bit in my last video, but the problem is that we generally think of films differently than we do stage shows. Films are usually around 90 minutes plus in length, and you think of them as being in 3 acts. See my co-writer Emily's newest video for a full breakdown on the 3-act structure. But stage shows are a lot longer, usually longer than 2 hours, and usually separated into 2 acts that are broken up by an intermission. Mean Girls is not a particularly long or complicated movie. It's around 90 minutes, and the plot is pretty basic and simple and surface level, and that's a good thing. It does what it needs to do, tells the story it needs to tell, makes as many jokes as it can, and then finishes off before you can get tired of it. But that doesn't necessarily work in a stage show. Like I said, you need to have that intermission, and most of the time you need to have those 2 acts. The movie may be 90 minutes, but the musical is close to 2.5 hours. And as I've said before, they didn't add much story-wise to justify this added time. There's no way you can add that much length to something without it affecting the finished product, and if you're not careful, making it feel weird. And I think the weird thing is that despite being longer, it feels more shallow than its film counterpart. On a really basic level, some of this is because of how the nature of time works on stage versus the screen. Something I talked about with the Dear Evan Hansen film is how different the plot feels when you have to see the literal and objective portrayal of what is happening on screen versus the abstract and nebulous world of theater. And how, because of that, you really do notice how much time Evan spends lying and how he keeps deliberately choosing things like going over to a different house or spending time on dates with the partner he's lying to. It makes him more unlikable because everything he does suddenly seems more deliberate and premeditated. Strangely, this is the reverse situation with Mean Girls. In the film, you get a real sense of the passage of time. It starts at the beginning of the school year in the fall and ends with the spring dance. You get major events like Halloween and Christmas that give clear signifiers of how many months have passed. You learn important dates like October 3rd to let you know that it's now October and it's probably been a few months since it started. This is theoretically true of the musical as well. It still starts at the beginning of the school year and ends with the spring dance. You still get Halloween and Christmas stuff, etc. But it feels less real. Like, because the musical takes place in this nebulous zone in front of a bunch of digital screens, it's hard to really feel like much time has passed for the characters at all beyond being told such. Now, admittedly, it's a bigger challenge in this medium. You can do a montage in film way more easily than you can in a show. You can change your settings and scenery more in a film than you can in a show. You can have more costume and makeup changes in a film than in a show. It's kind of just the truth of the situation. But because of this, you don't really get a full feeling of the scope of everything in the musical. Katie messing with the plastics felt like a long, extended effort in the film, whereas in the musical, if you're not actively thinking about it, it very much comes off as though it could just be like a 2-week thing. And because everything is more abstract, we get less of a feeling for how every choice Katie is making is deliberate and strung out and premeditated. And this could have been made to work. You do see musicals taking place over long stretches of time. Les Mis takes place over the course of decades, as does Hamilton. The Last 5 Years is literally called The Last 5 Years. But in all of these cases, you do need to make up for being able to do less with the world around you to convey time passing. You may not be able to easily show a character looking older to demonstrate that it's been a year, or have snow on the ground around you to convey very, very easily and that sticks in your mind that a few months have gone by. but you can show that characters are more familiar with one another than they used to be, or consistently dress them differently. With Mean Girls, we don't really feel time passing because we're largely watching a bunch of people who don't really like each other and don't get closer over the time that has passed or change how they view and speak to one another. They're mostly dressed the same throughout the show, and most significantly, a lot of the early plot elements are sped through very, very quickly, meaning we don't get a mounting sense of tension or time passing. So most notably, there's this song near the end of Act 1 called Revenge Party that is really, really not good, and I don't like it, and it has these cringy as fuck lyrics, but I'll get into that later. Revenge Party is the song where Katie realizes that Regina has betrayed her and vows to work with Janice to dethrone her as head of the Plastics. On the surface, fine thing to have a song about, but part of the problem is that the song sort of just keeps going, and so it's not just about them realizing that they want to go against Regina, but also all the ways that they do it. Showing the thing with feeding her the Caltine bars, starting to reveal that she's cheating, doing this whole holiday Glen Coco scene with Gretchen. All these big plot moments in the film sort of just get thrown away into this singular song. And they happen pretty fast in the movie too, but they were also still allowed to shine as scenes. Basically, every part of the Regina sabotage plan is relegated here to this one song, which, considering that's supposed to be the main driving force of the story, means the rest of the show doesn't have much else to do, and so by the end of Act 1, Regina has been replaced by Katie as head of the Plastics. Act 1 of the show is generally, fine-ish. I don't like it for a lot of the reasons I've already said, but it's fine enough on a basic level. But Act 2 really, really drags. And a lot of the reason for that is because so much of the plot was burnt through in the first act, and now they have to justify stretching out the last 30 minutes of the movie into 1 hour. We get a lot of reprises, a lot of solo songs, and not much really happening in terms of on-screen character development. With Katie's infiltration of the Plastics taking up, at best, 10 minutes of total production time, we don't really get enough time with her to feel as though any of the shit that gets thrown her way in Act 2 is justified because, once again, she's sort of fine here, not really much of a bitch at all. It drags the whole thing down and makes it really dull. There are also just general issues with the framing here. Like I said earlier, for some reason Janice and Damien start the show as the main narrators / Greek chorus or whatever, but then they only do that again in 1 or 2 songs, and it's doubly weird because not only was Katie already the narrator of the original film, the musical has several moments where Katie does stop and begin to narrate and explore her inner monologue via asides directly to the audience. It's super inconsistent which viewpoint we're supposed to be seeing this from, and it feels really sloppy, like something they didn't put much thought into. And then there's the awkward way that film quotes are inserted into the book. Mean Girls has a lot of memorable, famous lines, and it would be weird to do a musical that didn't have them. But they feel very forced in here. In the best of times, it feels as though Tina Fey hit Control-C and Control-V and just moved stuff over from her original screenplay and pasted it. In the worst moments, it feels like a line being said at a quote-along party.
Whatever, I'm getting cheese fries. Ex-boyfriends are off limits to friends. That's just the rules of feminism.
It has the same energy as when you're watching Star Wars and someone says a famous Star Wars line and it's not really funny or anything, and the only way you can react is, wow, yeah, that's the line from Star Wars. And the worst part is that these are mostly the only jokes in the show. There aren't that many attempts to make jokes that aren't just callbacks to the movie, and with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 lines here that get a laugh, nothing new is really significantly funny or memorable. Nothing that sets it apart in order to justify the existence of this adaptation. Nothing that it tries to do new with its premise, at least in the way of comedy. And speaking of awkward and forced, the songs are bad, which is a huge factor against the musical. Obviously, music is subjective and some people might like these, but these are just the most bland numbers possible. They're all very low energy, even the most upbeat songs don't have much. them. There are a lot of solo songs and character-specific numbers, which would be fine on paper, but considering how the songs aren't that good and don't go that in-depth on any of the characters anyway, it all starts to feel like filler. It gets to the point where every time it seems like they're going to do a song, it starts to feel like a threat. These songs rarely serve to advance the plot, but rather stall it until it's over and the show can move on to the next scene from the movie. But that's not the worst part of these songs. The reason a lot of them don't work, beyond any sort of opinions on the melodies or choreography or anything, are the lyrics. And the lyrics are... ugh. The lyrics for Mean Girls being so bad is very strange. Jeff Richmond and Nell Benjamin can write musical songs fine. Again, Benjamin worked on Legally Blonde, and that doesn't really have any particularly bad instances of egregious music. They do rhyme working with you in one number, but otherwise, the lyrics generally range from serviceable to good. For instance, Gayer European was funny, and it was a joke that wasn't in the film, and is considered an iconic element of the show now. They did something with their premise that wouldn't have worked well in a movie and didn't exist, and it sets it apart. I can't necessarily say that there are any incredible standout lines that I'm still thinking about in the show or anything like that, but they can do a good job writing lyrics, which is why some of the choices in Mean Girls sincerely baffle me. There's like one little pun where Katie is singing about liking a guy and how the only thing she's good at is math, and she says she's filled with lust, which is a joke I like very much. And sometimes when I listen to these lyrics, I am utterly convinced they spent the first 95% of their time thinking of this one pun and then had to rush through writing everything else in like 5 minutes. The trapped in this and fabulous rhyme, pretty good too. Those are literally the only two instances I can think of where I saw a lyric and I was like, that's a good lyric. So for those of y'all who are unfamiliar with the show, I'm just going to read through some of the lyrics in Mean Girls, and y'all can draw your own conclusions.
As
As right as it might seem, to overshare, troll, or meme, that's just low self-esteem.
Mean is easier than nice. This whole school humps my leg like a chihuahua. Like a lioness, only with less fur. Don't mess with her.
I learned math, so I can learn love. Imagine a party with dresses and cake and singing and dancing and cake. It's a revenge party with your two best friends. It's like a party with revenge is what it's like.
I don't need their good opinions. I have plenty of opinions. Everybody has opinions, but that doesn't make them true.
I won't twist in knots to join your game. I will say, you make me mad, and if you treat me bad, I'll say you're bad.
Side note, but those last 3 sets of lyrics are from the song I'd Rather Be Me, which is this inspirational song sung by Janice about how you should be yourself and not worry about the haters, and how Janice wishes we didn't have to be underhanded, and how she just wants to be direct, and her tactic is just to tell people to fuck off if they're mean to her. Which, first of all, no. This song isn't earned in the first place, because even with the defanging of Janice's character, it doesn't ring true for her. There's this entire section in the bridge where she talks about how she refuses to play the game of popularity and gossip, and that even though she's mad at people like Katie and Regina, she's not the type of person to laugh and celebrate when the beast of popularity comes for them too. Because that's not me. And like, yes it is. Laughing and celebrating because Regina got her life ruined is not only absolutely what Janice does, but there's actually, an entire song about it. Katie doing underhanded mean girl shit and talking about Regina behind her back and trying to sabotage her life is quite literally Janice's idea in the movie and in the musical. So this song doesn't work for Janice. It would be one thing if she was trying to convince somebody else that she is not mean, or if this was like an unreliable narrator situation, but this song is played completely straight as inspirational, and it's also just exceptionally cynical. Like, it feels like this song was put in the show not because it fits Janice's character or tells us anything new about her, but because a lot of theater kids are awkward and bullied, and a song that says it's okay to be weird and unconventional will be popular with those kids and make them easier to market to. The song doesn't narratively fit in the show, but it certainly does appeal to that demographic. Even the music video they made for this song, where Barrett Wilbert Weed is singing about how bullying is bad to this cast of teenagers half her age and dunking on this fictional popular girl who's like 15, and this awkward bullied teen is taking solace in her song, really highlights this and honestly feels deeply manipulative. So yeah, this song really doesn't work. But on top of that, these lyrics are also just all generally not well written. These are the most egregiously embarrassing ones I could find, but on the whole, the lyrics in this show rely on being overly simplistic, employing super awkward phrasing to force a rhyme, or just saying weird, unfunny shit like the school humping Regina's leg like a chihuahua. Generally speaking, the most common defense of lines like acted nice when she not nice is that, well, these characters are teenagers. They aren't the best at choosing their words, they're going to say things that are simple or weird or repetitive, and this is essentially the lyrical equivalent of Buffy speak, where characters say stuff like thingy or forget words for stuff or use bad metaphors. But this just isn't a good execution of that concept, because on some basic level, lyrics are a foundational element of theater, and it's generally necessary that they be good. If your lyrics are bad, even if there is a deeper justification for why, you didn't succeed on some level as a musical. And I'm not against having lyrics convey character. I think this is essentially always the case for a good show. The lyrics are going to tell us something about the way characters think and feel and express themselves. But this isn't the way to do it. If you want to have this work, to have characters in songs be overly direct or bad at finding words for things, there is a way to pull this off while still creating songs that are lyrically interesting. Take something like Come Home With Me from Hadestown, a number where the character of Orpheus meets this girl Eurydice and instantly falls in love. His lines start out being very simple and overly direct. He introduces himself to her with simply, "Come home with me." He answers her questions with these very short, simple statements. He's being awkward, these back and forth lines directly conveying his own inability to properly express himself to her yet. But that works because, one, the lines are at least partly played for laughs, and they are written to be reflections of Orpheus's awkwardness. 2, Hadestown is sung through, and this is explicitly written to be dialogue rather than a reflection of a character's internal state like it is in Mean Girls. And 3, this is a character-specific thing to Orpheus and how he feels in this one particular moment, rather than overly simplistic lyrics existing across the board. Other characters are still allowed to be clever and witty and poetic in this number, and we see Orpheus himself grow in confidence throughout the song and show, which keeps the song dynamic and character-focused, rather than just a song that has universally bad lyrics like it is in Mean Girls. And there are actually times in Mean Girls where this does work fine. Karen is introduced with very simplistic, repetitive lyrics and a simple melody to convey that she is not a very smart or verbose person. But for the most part, these bad lyrics are just bad lyrics. Ones that exist across the board for all characters, thrust into situations that should be opportunities for cool plot stuff or deeper character explorations to happen. And when tons of musicals feature teenagers and are able to do more lyrically interesting things than Mean Girls does, that doesn't end up being a compelling reason why Mean Girls had to be like this. There are also just some lyrical choices that feel odd, and much like a lot of the Janice stuff, feel less like they exist to develop a character or further the plot in a way that makes sense, and more like they're put in there for mass appeal or for a laugh where they don't really work. Like, there's this line in Karen's song Sexy, a song I generally like, that has this weird, sarcastic dig at modern feminism and doesn't really fit there. Karen's song had nothing to do with feminism. Karen never calls herself a feminist. The song isn't broadly about women's roles in the world in general. Just a really odd choice that doesn't fit well into Sexy. Which, you know, there are all of these lines, and all of the characters who are plastics make these references to feminism that are mostly played straight. I think that if they wanted to have that kind of message and update it a little, one of the things they could have explored is how a lot of Mean Girls now use the language of feminism in order to further propel their own meanness. I can definitely think of some examples when I was in school of, like, people using progressive messaging in order to shit on other girls, in order to be bitchy, in order to be cliquey. I think that they could have played on these characters' exploitation of feminist values if that was something that they wanted to dive a little bit deeper into. But they didn't do that either, so it's just this very weird, jarring lyrical choice that feels like it was thrown in there to make this modern feminism dig, not because it fits the character or song. When the music isn't just embarrassingly bad, it's often just kind of of nothing. I talked earlier about how at times the show really drags and as a result is jam-packed with a lot of filler numbers. This isn't always awful. Sometimes you get a song like Stop that doesn't serve much of a purpose but is fun and energetic. But other times these songs just have these very repetitive and one-note melodies and lyrics and instrumentation. Take the song Fearless, which is their big Act 1 finale number after Katie ousts Regina from the Plastics. Not only is the chorus just the phrase fearless over and over again, it's just generally not an interesting song. It's largely just an inspirational, happy number about how free everyone is, played completely straight, save for Regina popping in at the end to sing a reprise. This could have been an opportunity for them to be a bit sarcastic with it, to further show the dark side of Katie's choices, but instead it's just a really monotonous poppy song. Or a number like I See Stars, which is just filled with these really basic rhymes and melodies and doesn't really say anything interesting or stay in your head for any time after it's done. It's not horrible, there's nothing in here that's egregious, but it's very, very forgettable. And on a worse note, you've got the rap song they do when Katie goes to the math competition, or the song they sing when they have a house party, which I don't have much to say about except that they aren't good. They largely just exist as filler to pad out an already thin second act, and they aren't particularly good filler at that. It's really disappointing that they seem to have eschewed the idea of making any interesting choices at all for the music in Mean Girls. On one hand, the songs don't necessarily need to include a lot of complicated key changes or lyrics that are difficult to sing in order for the show to be good. I think that some of the reason the songs are what they are is that this show seemed to be specifically designed with licensing in mind. This is all just speculation, but I'm very much leaning toward the idea that this show was written largely so that it could be licensed for high schools to perform. I mean, you could make a compelling argument that Legally Blonde is more known nowadays for how it was licensed out to high schools rather than any notoriety from its original Broadway run, and that had one of the same songwriters. Like, I very much associate Legally Blonde with being a show done by high schoolers more than anything else. And in that sense, it makes sense that these would be songs that aren't necessarily difficult for high school age actors to learn and sing. But in a landscape where young adult musicals have become so incredibly popular, the musical ends up having a lot of competition that easily eclipses it in terms of music quality. I think there are a lot of ways they could have kept this show simple for high schoolers while still introducing some clever lyrics or refining the music, and I'm disappointed that that didn't end up happening.
We bundled our insurance with NJM and saved.
We bundled with the alpaca.
I really did want to like Mean Girls. I think it had a lot of key ingredients that made the film succeed, and I don't think this was the kind of production that was doomed from the start in the same way something like Tom Hooper's Cats was. The film was funny. There were things it could have improved on, but the musical could have been an opportunity to bring it into this even more heightened setting, to play off of the school environment in the way a show like Heathers does. So the fact that Mean Girls really didn't do that here was just disappointing to me. A lot of the bite and edge from the show ended up being absent, eliminating some of the harsher realities of life in girl world. The rampant slut-shaming, for example, doesn't necessarily further a progressive message, it just weakens the show's honesty. It's harder to explore anti-bullying stories when the bullying itself is so sanitized. It's paced and presented in a very odd way, a way that doesn't feel like an extensive amount of thought was put into it. Many of the characters just have the edge taken off them, whether it's Katie not really having a personality, or Janice existing in the story mostly as a pleasant, ambiguously gay art girl who exists to deliver a song about putting your middle finger up at preps. The songs broadly feel exceptionally low effort, and the fact that there are so many musical numbers here to pad out the story means that when the songs are bad, you feel it hard. And for me, the fact that this show could have been good makes these problems hurt a lot more. There are things I like about this musical. It had the potential to really succeed, and so it's very disappointing to see what it became. A very pale imitation of its source material that can't stand on its own without it, but at best provokes secondhand enjoyment from reminding you of the thing it almost is. It's worth mentioning that the Mean Girls musical was created in the climate of a pretty significant theater trend right now, the trend of Thing the musical. In the last few years before Broadway and the rest of the world kind of shut down, we were in the midst of a pretty large wave of these very aggressively mediocre, by-the-numbers stage musical adaptations of existing films. You're seeing shit like Amelie the musical, and Tootsie the musical, and Pretty Woman the musical, or right now you're seeing Mrs. Doubtfire the musical. With that said, on the better end of this trend, you have shows that are actually good and try to do something new, like Waitress, or Groundhog Day, or Beetlejuice. Essentially, though, we are very much in an era where we're seeing a lot of films get Broadway adaptations, not because they have something especially new to do with the story, or because they think theater is an especially good medium of communicating the story, but rather just because these are very safe narratives to adapt. These shows generally don't take many creative risks risks, have incredibly basic soundtracks, and don't do much new with their premise. They are essentially the Illumination pictures of musicals. And as much as I wish I could say Mean Girls fits in with the Waitress/Groundhog Day/Beetlejuice contingent of recent adaptations that try to be creative and interesting and have heart put into them that justify their existence, it unfortunately fits much better into that former category. A lot of its choices feel at best mediocre and at worst actively cynical, rather than a show with love and drive and ambition put into it. And if someone connects with this show and it makes them feel happy or seen or less lonely, then good. I'm glad theater can do that, and I hope that people who love this show go on loving it. But at least to me, Mean Girls the Musical doesn't feel like a musical designed to connect with folks or make them feel things. It feels like a cynical cash grab designed to profit off of young people's love of Mean Girls. It's the Dr. Perky to the film's Dr. Pepper. It's designed to evoke your recognition of the original, to bring you the joy that comes from remembering the thing it imitates, but it just doesn't taste the same. With any luck, someone will make a non-musical play adaptation of the musical movie, and someone will do a musical adaptation of that, and we'll just get to suffer through a cycle of gradually more unrecognizable Mean Girls adaptations until somehow it turns back into a self-help book. I did a lot of talking in this video about theater, and if you're interested in theater, you might also be interested in Debater Theater, an exclusive video I've made for my streaming service Nebula. Debater Theater is a special video about how to better use arguments to persuade others, with lots of cool examples like showing how people use debating skills in movies, the news, and even award acceptance speeches. I used to be a debater and debate coach, and so getting to make a video like that was really fun, and it's still something that I'm very proud of. If you'd like to watch it, you can check it out on Nebula. Nebula is a collaborative streaming platform between me and tons of other creators like Tierzoo, Lindsay Ellis, Legal Eagle, and many more. It's a really great platform for educational and informative content, especially content that isn't best suited for YouTube because of copyright or monetization issues. For example, my last video, the one on Dear Evan Hansen, included more fair use clips and visuals from the show when you watched it on Nebula. You also get early access to my videos and get to watch them without the ads or sponsor segments when you watch them on Nebula. Nebula has also partnered with CuriosityStream, a streaming service with thousands of exciting documentaries that address our desire to learn and focus on things like science, history, and technology. Signing up for CuriosityStream gets you access to Nebula, and the best part is that right now for the holiday season, they have this honestly incredible deal going on right now where the bundle is 42% off for the annual plan. That means that instead of $19.99, you can...
How long have I been streaming? How long has this been going on? Oh, joy. For almost an hour. Well, better get my streamies at least on. I just wanted to play Minecraft. Oh, well, this is weird. Okay. Well, at least I can... Okay. Oh, there are several of you here. Hello? Hello, I finally recognize you. Here's some bombs. Some stars. Well, Action Shin, you're new. Exhalen, you're cool. And hey, Caxipip. Caxipip. You're here as well. Okay, well. That's a thing that's all happened. Welcome, welcome. Hello there. Oh, and Nightmare, yes. Hello to you too. I was just supposed to be playing Minecraft. I did not update OBS on my thing. Okay, well, I don't know. For an hour. How long has everyone been on? Because I haven't been talking for anything on this. Oh well. Stop giving me this. I want you to do that. Oops. Well. Ah, frick. This looks weird. It's a new world, I know. I just wanted to try to make a floating sky base, but I couldn't do it in my old one. Because I had no room for the architects. So, yeah. For the architectural stuff. So yeah, I just started making a new build. We are now just a little miner in a little world that does not know how to organize our stuff. Just enter that. Honestly, we are just chilling. I'll be honest. I have my ice, I have my Sunny D, and that's all I want in my life. Thank you. Thank you. You need some grouts. I have not enough right now. So we are going to dump this and go mining. I was listening to Mean Girls. Wait, I was gonna say, do I have no wood? I should always have wood. I just run out. I feel like I'm living in the apocalypse. I'm just hiding out. There you go. I should probably make a shovel, maybe? Who knows? Okay, gonna keep those two with me. Do I have no food? Oh, I do have some food. God, I have not had sex. Yo, dollar store. They sell bottles by Sunny D. It's amazing. What was I doing? You. Alright, if I have no idea, it's not an idea I need. Hopefully when I get back, all the smelting will be done and I can go and get my... Oh no, it's not my level. Oh right, food! I need food, hold on. Famous last words, yes. Very, very famous last words. I need food. Because this is getting harder and harder to get up. I guess I could have broccoli just in case. That should all be grown by the time I get back. Okay, I'm so sick of this. Stop hitting my head on everything. Remember my friend wanted a beetle. He wanted a marble beetle. And he wanted, cause he put it on the back, like on its back. It was his mine colonies thing. Like trying to keep it organized, but at the same time, all I want to do is that. it just so much easier? Oh, what do I hear for mine? Ooh, I need this. I need this. I will become organized in my mining later. The hell did I just hear? Okay. It's not loud enough for my neck to hear it. It's not loud enough for me to worry about. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're great. Oh, ooh, oh, mine. I want it. No, I want it. No. Yay. Slate. It's such a pretty color. Oh, it's such a pretty color. Okay. Let me break this axe. Hold on. There you go. Just gonna walk a little. Gonna get another pickaxe, 'cause we got slate. We got slate. Why was something placed? I swear, like, monsters just converge above me. Okay. Yeah, they're probably just above me. We need to make an atomic reconstructor. Good sir, that's not a real word. Please tell me that's not a real word. Because if that is a real word, we are not doing it in this world. I'll switch words. Down it, one less. It's nothing bad, it's simple. You say that now, but I know not to trust you. I don't know. It has atomic in it. Last time I checked, atomic is not very simple. Oh, now I have to look at it. Hold on, how did you spell it? Sir. Now what does this one do? Page 6. Okay. Zombies. Okay, page 6. Page 6. Oh, crystals. Oh, great. Shush up. Okay, I do not need... Ah, there you go. Here's the reconstructor. Please shut up, you all up there. I don't need... You go to a couple of items you want. Oh no. Oh! Oh, the void crystals. Great. This makes a void crystal. Well, actually, I am interested in that. Use the crystals to make very good tools and armor. I am interested. Okay, you got me a little interested. Into it. Then we should be. We probably are not good on this, but it's fine. Good, we're all just chilling out. Unless you're Nightmare who wants me to make something atomic. Good. I need more chests. I mean, I could organize this, but we're not doing that right now. We are just making more chests. God, help me when I actually want to organize this. But that's when I get into the sky. Right now, we're not doing that. Actually, hold on. Okay. I think I exhaling. Y'all good? Nice job on the jump catch game. I'm going back to the streaming world because I think I have much more resources there. In Orchard, I definitely have more resources. But, so that's completely silent. I don't need no echoing. Wait, does that mean I was live the entire time? Like, I've been off to play with my bunnies and all? Like, oops. I'll be fine. Firewood. Yeah, so atomic. Iron casting. Okay. Stick. Some black quartz. Yes. Orchard and streaming. Black quartz. Boop. I'll make 2 just for the hell of it. I also don't have a library in this. So we might be also into some trouble. Give me a second. Do I have a library? Yep, with 1 book. Okay. What's this one? I think this is spruce. I'm gonna see if we have spruce. I like matching bookcases. Why is it not coming up? Video settings, yeah. It was telling me like 5 seconds ago. Oh, well, I guess. My thing's broken again. A generator. Oh, joy. Oh, there's a coal generator. Windmill! Actual additions. Oil, black hole generator. Okay, I think we'll just do the coal. Just coal iron casings. I need both of them. Why did I do that? I was trying to make a bookcase. No, it was a dark oak. Ew. No, that's the training stick. Where's my sticks? That's the training stick. Thank you. What? Hover? I have no idea what this is. Oh, I know what those are. Hello, an ordinary nerd. Welcome. I know what that is. And I've seen constellation papers. Suiting. Okay. What? I'm gonna put you down, but... okay. I kinda, ooh. I'm definitely testing that out in Orchard. Cause I'm definitely... World domination, great. Okay. I need my stick back. Shots, and I need you, I think. Iron casing, and I don't have enough iron. Bam, 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 bam. It's astral sorcery. Yo! That'd be awesome. Atomic. Redstone. That. Oh, yes, you can just put blood on your times tables. I love it. And then a generator. Let's just do coal, because I have enough coal. Okay. Two, we'll do like two. This is stone. What? Oh, it's cobblestone. It's not just stone. Listen, I don't read everything. I just like read the first 3 letters and it'll be like fine. Oops, still don't have enough. I could have just 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I could have just had a 3x3 one. You can't remember from one wall to the next. I'm just gonna put all this away. Thank you. I feel like we could just put this one in the living room. This won't. Yeah, we'll just put it in the living room. Okay. Coal generator. Okay, let's go get some coal. Ow. Oh, redstone. No, I thought I heard something. Okay, yep, banging. Usual. What is that banging? Oh! It's that thing! Okay. Okay, you know what? You can just pulsate. Fantastic. Now I have a laser in my house. What YouTube? Oh, yes. Coffee. Okay. Touch the laser. Okay. No! Oh, it's such a weird thing. Okay. I thought, hold on, let me see. The book said no, keep my doors damn shut. We are not inviting the Grim Reaper over here. Let's see, if I put a block here. Ooh! Mine. Oh no. Ooh. Okay, I'm not listening to this. I am not listening to that. Ooh, and then what do you... Void crystals! Just throw it on the ground. That's true. Can I throw it at the chickens? No. Oh, wait, hold on. I've seen this thing before. Hold on. Maybe if I can spell one day. Oh, you could totally make this. Oh no. Ooh, I really... Okay, why is this purple so nice? Eyes of Ender and oh my gosh. What happened? Oh, I started this thing. I'll take that spell book. The one spell book I can't read. Oh. Oh dear. I started this thing. Okay. gonna put this in here. I'm gonna put away all the books. You know what? I like to use anyway for armor. It's probably better armor than I have now, actually, if I think about it. Wow. Let's go. Wonder if I can use this. Boo, boo, boo. Let's see. Snazzy. I am a ghost. Sincerely, I am a ghost. Oh, but I do have a solid armor stand. Yeah, you can have my pants. It's always good to share. Okay, I'm going to stop this one. Hold on. Boop. Cause I don't know why it's... Oh, it's just turning different colors. Okay, we're gonna just put the generator there. We're gonna keep them separated for a moment. You're making me curious about your weird words, man. You're making me curious. Oh, wow. That isn't too bad. And then... Oh, it's not too bad at all. It's just my block. Do I have lapis? I do have some lapis. I can, relegate. Let's see. 16. Okay. Shut up. I'm gonna kill these chickens. See, boo, boo, boo. Oh. But actually, I want the void helmet and this thingy. So I'm gonna take this off. Take this off. Put you on. Look at me, looking snazzy. I need another armor stands. I cannot remember for the life of me how to make anything. Sticks, okay. I am like stuck in like musicals. You. No, let me out. Boo, 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 boo. There you go. Look at that snazzy looking man. Just gonna dump all that here, except for that. I can't lose that. Yeah, that can all go in there. Yeah, that can go in there. That bow's not nice. Nice. Finally, something nice is something cool to do with lapis other than just enchant. But what was I thinking of making in this thing? 'Cause I know I just had the smeltery. What do I have? I have electrum, copper, gold. And I need that book again. No, come here, get out of here. Where is my book? Where's my book? I lost my book. Agitome, no pure spell book. Agitome, no pure spell book. There you go. Materials and you, yes, I know. I'm looking at copper, bronze copper. What does copper do? Well established, you gain additional XP. Oh, I made that. Manualum? I made that. That was cool. So that was fun. Okay, so I only have Electrium. Redstone alloy. Oh, it's just shocking. So I could have. Oh, but it's -1 durability. -25 durability. But if I did that one and then. The copper. Head. Oh, it's only mining. But you know what? What the hell? I have sign plates. Alright, that's how I make it. Woo! Tool rod plate. Okay, let's go. So the tool rod is going to be made out of copper. And thank you, and then that will be made out of Electrium. Oh, I just really want to make the frying pan. Well, stoppings and oh, it does take longer, so let me see. It makes the electric sound. Oh, it's gonna scare the shit out of me. Okay. I wonder if I can get XP from killing my cows. I mean, it's gotten like I'll be back, cows. We're gonna make another. Let me try a long sword. The blade sword. The cleaver is the most heavy offensive, powerful strikes but difficult to wield. Benefits. Oh yeah, that's not also a thing. Hold on. Before I actually do anything, I actually have to go get a book that I don't even know where it is anymore. Skills book. Okay. Crafting. No. Sweet. So I have 9 levels to use. Mining, combat. Let's do combat. Oh, I can't. Increase. Thank you. Increase. And I broke my game. Sweet. Okay. Archery, stealth, shielding proficiency, yeah. Done. Okay. Is a shield. It's a great shield. Yeah. Fear my words. No trespassing allowed. Eh, it made a sound. Bounce signs, thanks. I wanna get a. Oh, this one. The rapier is a special that relies on quick strikes to defeat flows. Right click, backpedal. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. I know it's crossblade, and I know I have that. Crossblade, knife blade, and I think it's this one, but let me just double check. Tool ride, sword blade, so I have a knife. Large sword. Did I not make a knife? Gonna make a knife. IDO, we did not. Can I please have some cobblestone? There you go. Tool rod, no. Sword, thank you. And then I put it in here. It only needs 2, so bam bam. And then we put it in here. I make sure there's gold. Gold, and then I go like this. I'm gonna bop someone in the head with a sign one day. And then that should be good. So, what do I have? I only have water. Well, I have 3, so I have molten gold. What does gold even do? What? Oh, yeah, it's true, because I made it out of the thing. Can I make it out of cheese? Ferium. No, I do not. Dragon bone, moonstone, prosperity shards, treated wood. Oh. Get out here with that. Fiery steel, obsidian. I made the obsidian nether pick. And that was fun. Gets auto smelted, pig iron. Bacon delicious. Netherrack. I forgot we were supposed to go to the nether. What if I can just beat my cows with my hammer? Hold on. Ooh. Ooh. IDO. It's gonna zap. It's gonna zap. I know it's gonna zap. It's waiting for it. There you go. Realize I've nothing yet. Cheese. Cheese! Cheese. Wait, seriously, you can't make cheese? If I gotta trade with a villager, I am not doing it in this world because everything wants to kill me in this world. We're going to Orchard and I'll get all the damn cheese I want. Yes, 6:48 and I still need dinner. I wonder if Domino's orders. Also, I have pizza. I could just go eat pizza. Oh, my eyes, my eyes. Me eyes. Okay. Can I please come back into my world? I swear it's not for 5 seconds to look at my own smell tray, I promise. Awesome. Are you done smelting yet? Oh, it's froze. We're just gonna do whatever we want. Just, you know, after 3 years, I should be used to it just being glitchy a little bit. Yep. Oh no, nerd, hello? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so we're gonna go, I would like something made of cheese. But I do not have a lot of cheese of villages near the other worlds. So we are going to... Oh, I love when this game freezes. What? Okay. Oh, that's right. That's smoking, yes, still. Okay. We're just gonna put you guys right here until I know what to do with you later. And... I need to go trade. Let's see... Yeah, see, all my stuff is better. Slightly. I need to get my emeralds, which means I have to go do some... Oh, do I have emeralds? Hold on. Something's not right. Hold on. Let it load. Let it load. It's Sunday. No one wants to be awake on Sunday. Okay. Yeah, see, it doesn't? It's not showing me my stuff. Hold on. Where are you guys? Hello, OBS. Let's go back to the opening screens. Bring them along, and then I'm gonna restart the game. Because, it should be able to show me the quantity of my stuff in the upper left corner, but it's not. It's not. I don't even know how long I was even live before I realized. Congratulations, Nightmare, for jump game? Jump catch game, okay. One viewer, one Nord. Thank you. What are we? May I please? Ooh, Goop Dude. XD, thank you for also joining. Wait. When was this? Oh no. Oh, I've been online for an hour and 40 minutes. Well, that's new. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get this world loaded correctly. Oh, that means I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. Ew. See, I have 20 minutes before I hit that, and then I can just quick shut down and be like, nope, never stream for 2 hours. You cannot prove anything. Okay. Great. Oh, no. Okay, we'll have to just walk with it. Okay, you're coming back on the scene. There you guys are. Oh, look how pretty. Hold on, Nightmare. What are you up to? Hold on. You all get bombs. I have to say, it's hilarious to see people think, oh, so Nightmare, just don't worry about it. Just click you here. Ordinary nerd. It's fine. It's fine. Wish we had like jump pads for you guys, so when like I drop you, you could like bounce around, like on beds. Back up, done. Okay, what? I needed emeralds. This is definitely glitching right now, which is weird because doesn't always do that. Okay. That's fine. We can do this the easy way. We good? Nope, we are. It takes 5 minutes to get back into the game, though. I don't want to have to restart. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart. Where are you guys? Non-gaming scene. Opening scene, there you go. Save and quit, restart it. You know what? You know, I think maybe it's a sign to stop streaming, especially since I did not actually know I was streaming for the time being. So thank you all for joining this improv stream. Sorry for the weirdness that was going on for the first hour of it. I promise that tomorrow, Monday, which is supposed to be a much better, more organized stream, will definitely be better. And it will also not be at 11 o'clock at night if I can help it. Worst Nightmare has 2 lightsabers. I'm concerned, but either way, it better me. But hey, if you guys want to come back tomorrow, I'm gonna be trying to stream at 10 a.m. To at least I would like to say until 12:30, 1 o'clock, because I have to go to work eventually. And I'm gonna change. So that's what I'm gonna change my time to. For Mondays, instead of being at like the middle of the night after work, I'll try to do it before work. And that will be a much more relaxed and organized stream. You won't just be chilling in Minecraft watching someone fumble around with a smelter, I swear. Or maybe you will, who knows. Maybe I like torturing you guys. So, thank you, Ordinary Nerd, Action Shin, and, of course, Nightmare and Caxip, for, joining me on this very weird, exploration. Here's some stars. Here's some bombs, and I hope you guys have a nice night, day, or evening. I'm not gonna say have a nice morning. No, the mornings are never nice. Alrighty, you guys have fun.